Welcome to the Transplaining Podcast, episode 9. It is episode 9 because we had 3 episodes last week with it, which, by the way, for anybody that hasn't watched it, it is a must-see because of all the information that came out. It was unbelievable. Anyway, I'm Daphne, and with me is my co-host, Bear.
Bear here.
Bear down.
Bear with me. Yes, and today's guest is an investigator for the Illinois Office of Statewide Pretrial Services. And please welcome Mr. Josh Renshaw.
Hey, it's great to be here.
Yeah, thanks a lot for being with us today. And
and for coming on short notice.
Yes. Big shout out.
No problem.
Big shout out. Thank you very much. And Josh and I actually have a history together. We actually met in a chat room what feels like about 100 years ago. And we have maintained a friendship.
Chat room.
Yeah, we've maintained a friendship the whole time. And I will give you a personal shout out, Josh, that you were the one and you sort of led the way. And I followed in your footsteps and your guidance on my journey. So I wanted to thank you. Thank you for being so open to, at the time, just kind of walking me through your process. And so I just followed you. And so thank you for that.
Yeah.
And
oh boy, yeah, I didn't have a clue what I was doing, so I'm sorry about that.
No,
you followed me. I was
the blind
lost.
leading the blind.
Yeah.
No, you definitely paved a path, and I was able to sort of kind of figure out, along the way what I was doing. And so, thank you for being so open, in assisting me in my journey.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Well, then, with that being said, I think the next step would be let's hear about your journey. However it started. We can go all the way back as far as you want to go.
All right, yeah. So I always knew that I wanted to be a boy. I just didn't know that it was an option. I remember, when I was young, there are lots of signs now, looking back. But I always used to play with boy toys. I remember, I wouldn't swim in, a swimsuit. Yeah, boy toys.
Boy toys.
I wouldn't swim in a swimsuit. I wanted to wear swim trunks, but then couldn't. So I wore, I just wore my clothes in the pool. I remember one time my mom was really excited because she found a Ninja Turtle swimsuit, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, this will work!" And so I actually wore that, and I was pumped about that.
So your mom was accepting.
Yeah. She would have been. She wasn't still around when I came out as trans. She passed away when I was 11. But I think she would have been very accepting. And I don't think it would have surprised her at all. And I remember, this is kind of a funny story, but she used to run a home daycare, and every once in a while we put on plays for the kids' parents, and all the kids would be involved in it. And she'd want us all to pick our parts. And so she'd always be like, "Do you want to be," we did Cinderella, and she's like, "Do you want to be Cinderella?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, I wanted to be the prince, but I couldn't. And she's like, "You want to be the fairy godmother, the stepsister?" And I was like, "Oh, no, that sounds terrible." I was like, "Can I just be an animal, I guess?" And the only costume we had at the time was of an animal was a cow. It was a cow costume.
Right.
And so we have this home video actually, of the play going on, and it's the fairy godmothers are bippity boppity whatever, and making her look pretty and stuff. And then off to the side you see me as a cow just wandering around. Had nothing to do with the play.
Just over there, move. I'll move over here.
I'd rather be a cow than any female part in a play.
Yeah. No, that would have been my reaction too. Just let me be a
cow.
Cow.
A bear cow.
Or a tree. I would have been happy with it as a tree.
A tree, right? Blowing around.
We've now entered the South Park realm of you're a bear cow.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Man, bear pig.
Man, bear pig. Oh, no.
Yeah. And then I think it was age 10 or 11 that I discovered chat rooms. And it was a friend of mine who was told me we should go into a chat room and actually made the comment of like, you can be whatever you want to be in a chat room. And so like we went in as a guy and see, she's not trans at all. And so she didn't even realize the fact that that was so validating for me. And I'm sitting there just thinking like, oh my gosh, I want to do this more. And then I just continued going into chat rooms. And I felt guilty about it for a long time because I was like, I felt like I was lying to people, and I really struggled with that. Like, this is wrong, but at the same time, nothing in my life has felt more validating than being there.
Right.
So it was like, this is the best thing I've ever felt. I don't want to stop it, but I also don't want to lie to people. So it was kind of an internal struggle for a long time. But yeah, that was probably a big sign for me.
It was the cow.
It was the cow.
The cow unlocked it.
And then
Yes.
Brought out your true potential.
Yep. That's exactly what it was.
Yes, I can relate because we were in, chat rooms for the same reason. And it was comfortable, and it was validating, and it was the best thing because it was so anonymous. And I didn't exactly, feel guilty because it felt so, affirming and so right for me.
Yeah.
And so I never felt guilty for lying because I wasn't. And it was just a way to express,
I mean, but in the chat rooms, were you guys saying, hey, by the way, I'm trans? Or were you just in there like, hey, I'm just a guy?
No, we were not.
No, I just said I was a guy.
Back then, the terms weren't even like invented yet, I guess I could say.
So then how did you guys come across figuring it out together?
Oh my.
For me, it was,
Go ahead.
For me, I didn't know that trans was a thing. I just knew that I really wanted to be a boy. And I spent like most of my life just kind of, honestly, I never thought about the future because I was always like, I don't expect to live, to old age.
I feel that.
Kind of like, I hated myself. I hated my body. I didn't take care of my body. I was like, whatever, doesn't matter.
Right.
Nothing mattered, and then there was one point when I was crying to my sister, and she, at the time, she was going to school for psychology, and I was crying to her, and I was saying like, I just really wish I was born a boy, and I don't want to be around anymore like this and stuff like that. And she was like, oh my gosh. She was like, I think you're this concept I've been learning about actually. And so she told me about like gender dysphoria and being transgender and stuff, and it clicked in my head, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's an option like this whole time.
Yeah.
Just blew my mind.
Right. It's nice when that term, the term connects with you and you go, oh, finally there's an answer.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. Like, I'm not just like crazy and alone. And like, I thought I was just like, there's something wrong with me. Like, why do I feel this way? And it explained a lot. Like, oh, this is a thing that many people go through, and I just didn't know.
Did you grow up religious?
No, not exactly. We went to church here and there, but and I did actually go to a Christian middle school, which the education part was great, but I do think it messed with me. Like, that's when I started like self-harm was during that time.
Right.
I was being taught that like the things that I felt were wrong and were evil. And so I'd go home and I'd like self-harm and just be like, what's wrong with me? I'm, evil. And so there was some like trauma involved with like my schooling and stuff. But, yeah.
Fair enough.
And you said it was your sister that was studying psych and was the one who, okay. Did that help you? I mean, when you first realized that this is a thing, this is a valid thing, and was it easy for you to come out?
I still struggled with it probably like a couple years after that. I even like when I started going to college, I even wrote a paper on gender dysphoria with that when I wasn't even out yet.
Wow.
And so I think I knew it for a few years before I actually came out. And the first time I came out as bisexual, kind of like testing the waters
Right.
to see how my family would react and stuff.
Right.
And they were all like, "Oh, that's great, that's fine. You know, you love who you love, whatever, you know." And I was like, okay, that wasn't so bad.
Right.
And I sat with that for a while. And then when I decided to come out as trans, it was kind of like a last effort to save myself because
Yeah.
I was on the point of either I'm going to come out as trans or I'm going to end my life.
Right.
And so as a last effort to save myself, I was like, you know what, I'm this thing. And I just figured if they don't accept it, there's my answer. Then I just end things, and
Right.
you know,
And trigger warning for you.
but
Sure.
yeah. Sorry. My dad, when I told him I'm transgender, I'm gonna start transitioning to male. His response was just, "That's great. I've always wanted another son."
Wow, that's beautiful.
And-
That is very beautiful.
Yeah. And he made some joke about it evening it out because there were 2 boys and 4 girls, and then it, you know, so he's like, "Oh, that's more even anyway." So, and most of my family was very accepting, you know, except for a few cousins and stuff. But I had very good responses from people.
And you were in the Midwest this whole time?
Yes, I moved to Nebraska for a while. I was actually in Nebraska when I came out, but I grew up in Illinois, and now I'm back in Illinois again. But
How did the community accept that? Like your family was there, but then you know people around. How did that go?
it was mixed. It was like it was weird because I was in college when I started transitioning,
Okay.
and I was right in the middle of classes. I was in the middle of semester, so I started the semester going there, presenting female, and then halfway through, I like show up one day and I'm dressed like a male, and I have like my hair cut and stuff, and people were just kind of like, "Who the heck is this?" You know.
Right.
So it was difficult. I actually dropped out of classes that semester because I was like, "This is too weird. This is like weirding me out."
Did you show up more like a butch lesbian first, or did you just switch all the way? You know, just start dressing?
Yeah, I looked like just like a tomboy. I already dressed kind of just like in sporty clothes and comfortable clothes and stuff, but
Right.
but I didn't really tell anyone that I was even thinking about the fact that I was transgender.
So your name hadn't changed yet, or you weren't presenting with a different name at the time.
Nope.
Fair enough.
Was it easy for you to change your name? Like, did you come across any roadblocks?
No, it was all right, and my dad helped me with a lot of stuff.
He's had like the dream transition.
Yeah.
Everybody was accepting. Everything just went smooth as
Yeah.
pie.
Yeah. No, it was. My dad helped me with a lot of stuff, like even like my top surgery. So right after I first came out as trans, I did attempt, and I ended up in like a recovery center, and my dad called me and was like, you know, what can I do to help you so that this doesn't happen again? Like, I
Yeah.
want you to be happy.
Mhm.
And I said, top surgery. It was like, I can't afford it. At the time, I didn't know I didn't know anything about insurance or whether it was covered or not. And he was like, okay, let's do it. Like, whatever we have to do to save your life. And so he paid for my top surgery, and he helped me go through the name change process. I actually, oddly enough, I had more issues with the name change stuff when I moved back to Illinois, which you would think Nebraska would be more difficult about it.
Yeah.
Nebraska was pretty easy, like to get a new driver's license and everything.
It was all easy.
It was all
Hey, wait,
Yeah.
though. I got a question though.
Yeah.
So you're dealing with SI still. I mean, everything was going well for you. You had family that accepted. You had, half of the community, anyways, accepted, and you got the name change. Like, what would drive you there if everything's going well, and top surgery is the thing that fixes it?
Yeah. What was the unexpected?
Right. Yeah. So I did lose some friends because of it. And the relationship that I was in at the time, it was an online relationship, and she kind of like blew up at me about the whole thing.
Yeah.
And was kind of, making comments. She was like disgusted with me and all this stuff.
Wow.
And I lost some of my online friends, didn't want to talk to me anymore. And so it was a lot of that. I did have one brother-in-law who made a big stink about it and like wouldn't let his kids call me by my chosen name and stuff.
Right.
And then I had cousins who were basically telling the rest of my family like, hey, there's therapy that can fix this. And, like I had super religious cousins who were just like trying to convince my family that I should go to conversion therapy and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. And so my sister thankfully like had my back with them and was like, if it's either I have a brother who is alive, or it's either he's not going to be here anymore or he transitions, then I gladly have this brother that transitioned.
And I think that's so important because there's a lot of people that don't understand that concept. But I mean, and a lot of people carry the idea that, oh, you're suicidal because you're trans, and they don't understand that, hey, this is the thing that fixes it, and you have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want them in your life or not? Whether or not it's by proxy where you choosing to keep them in your life, or whether it's that you're just not in life, but it's so important to realize that, hey, the support makes such a big difference.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we were talking to Jeff a couple weeks ago about it, and he said just having even just one supportive family member decreases the chance of suicide by like 40%, I think he said.
Yeah, it was a significant number, of risk that is eliminated.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So you're able to get top surgery and get the name changed.
Yes. Yep.
Well, what kind of age frame was this that this was all starting to come together for you?
Top surgery, I think I was 24 when I got top surgery.
Have you ever regretted it?
No, I'm so happy that I got top surgery. Hysterectomy was like a few years after that.
Right.
I gained a ton of confidence from it, so I don't regret it at all. And I started like dating like in person for the first time. It's just so weird when you're like in your mid-20s and you're like, I'm going on my first date,
Oh, that's cute.
You gain so much confidence when you transition. It's like pre-transition, I had so much anxiety. I was actually on Social Security disability because I had trouble leaving my house without my sister or my dad going with me.
Right.
It was like crippling anxiety, zero confidence. I was just at home on my computer, talking to talking to people in chat rooms.
Right.
And just post-transition, so many people told me like you're like a totally different person because I'll go out and I'll talk to people like I'm just like bubbly and happy and confident.
And you're not putting on a show for people.
Yeah. Makes a huge difference.
Yeah, you don't need a screen name anymore or anything. You can just be you. You
no.
know? Yeah. Don't need a screen name.
My ridiculous screen names. I had the hardest time coming up with screen names. I was like, I'm gonna be Butter.
Yes. And then
you could spread me on toast.
I was like, I'm smooth like butter. I was like the cheesiest person.
It's okay. We all loved you the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
had
they
like
still liked me. Yeah.
yeah, I had
Call
like
me
4
honey.
Yeah.
Call me cornbread.
For a while, I was like pit stop. I don't know.
Pit stop.
Pit stop. I was like, that's because I'm just a pit stop in your life, and like I don't know. I thought I had all these deep meanings to my names, and they were just the
Yeah.
stupidest names ever.
I think I was Agent Orange. I had Pitiful Anonymous. I had so many screen
Yeah.
names.
You had some really deep names. I was just like Butter.
Yeah, Butter.
Sounds good.
I can't with you too.
We were so cool, you
We
know.
were. We were.
The coolest people in the chat room at age 12 or whatever.
15, 16 for me. That's when I kind of met
Yeah, I guess when
everyone.
we started talking, it was a little older. Yeah.
Because another mutual friend who also appeared on the podcast, DJ, her and I kind of met around all the same time in the same chat room. And I remember I was 16 because I drove to go meet her and have a little lunch
Yeah.
date.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. DJ is awesome. I've also met DJ. It's yeah, she's met like everybody, I guess.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
she's pretty
Yeah.
remarkable person.
Mhm.
And
Definitely.
stepping back, or mentioning again that okay, you're in Illinois now, and from Nebraska. I wanted to ask if you have found a LGBTQ supportive community.
Yes, actually, I co-founded our trans mass group in Springfield, Illinois. I met up with one other trans guy, and he was so excited. I was the first trans person he had ever met, and he's like, "You're
Wow.
trans! Oh my gosh!" And he was so excited about it, and it was just great for him to have like a resource. And so I was like, you know what? Let's start a thing where like we bring more trans people together, and so we'd have meetings regularly and talk about trans issues and trans resources and stuff. So yeah, I have a huge trans support group now in Springfield.
At first, it was like 3 people
Wow.
meeting down in the basement.
Yeah, 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 pretty much.
Hey, someone bring the popcorn because I got the butter.
Oh my god.
Yeah. No, we met for a while. We were meeting at like Mellow Cream, and the Mellow Cream workers are probably like, "What is happening?" Because all of a sudden they have like 10 just trans people walking in there, once a week. But
Yeah.
get some donuts,
Hey, so I have a question here. You mentioned, is Nebraska that you're finally feeling comfortable, you're fine, you're able to come out and walk around and such. How long were you on testosterone at that or were you on testosterone at the time?
So I was on testosterone for maybe like 3 months before I had my top surgery. So I had just started testosterone pretty much during that time. I already had I had higher levels of testosterone than most females,
That's interesting.
Yeah, so I already had some like facial hair growth, like very weak, but I had some pre-testosterone shot.
So it wasn't too difficult. I don't want to use the term passing, right? But you were very much in a space where people saw you and after top surgery and just went, "Oh, there's a guy," or was there still confusion there?
Kind of until I talked. My voice was not super deep. So as long as I'm just like,
He comes in. I'm
You
from
know,
Saskatchewan.
yeah, yeah.
How did you deal with people who did like either misunderstand or misgender you?
I've always told people like intentions matter a lot to me. If you aren't intending to be rude about something, I'm not gonna take it that way.
Right.
I can like gently correct you, like, oh, it's he, him, or whatever. But
Right.
I'm not gonna be a jerk about it if you're not trying to be a jerk about it. But
Right.
there are also those people who ask questions or misgender you intentionally, and that I just choose not to respond to. Like I'm not gonna answer any questions if you're being rude about it.
Well, were you finding situations where I'm trying to find the right words here, but basically where you were experiencing danger or anything like that, threats of any kind because of the transition?
Um, I mean, I've gotten comments before. I had other friends who experienced things. So there
Right.
are certain things that I avoided, like public restrooms. I tried to avoid those as much as possible. I mean, I still kind of do. Um,
Fair enough.
uh, I had a friend who was like trapped in a bathroom and like mocked and was
I've
scared
been
to
there.
leave the
Oh,
bathroom. Yeah, yeah. And it was at the college that we both went to, and he was actually like chased off campus, and they threw things at his car as he was
Oh my
driving
God.
away. So, yeah. But thankfully, like I think it helps that I'm such a homebody and I don't really go anywhere. So in my home I'm safe, but
You're just slick as
public
butter.
restrooms, yeah, slick as butter. Just slipping, slipping out of the dangerous situation.
she's not going to let that go. She's
Yeah.
not going to let that go.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Okay, so are you mentioned that you were starting to date in person. How did
Mhm.
that go?
That was super difficult for me at first. I like was really conflicted about the whole. You tell someone before you go on a date so that they know, but then risk the chance of them just not wanting to talk to you ever again, or do you
Yeah,
tell them after the first date so that they get to know you as a person, and then can decide if they want to continue dating you or not?
but then they're risking
Um,
feeling betrayed too, or something like that.
right. Yeah. Um, and so I went on a few dates, and I didn't tell them until after the date. Thankfully, they were pretty cool about it. We didn't continue dating. I don't, you know. Um, but like my wife, actually, I told her before the date because I had had the experience where I told them after, and then they didn't want
Right.
to continue. So I told her before on the phone. I was like, "Yeah, so I'm transgender," and she was like, "Oh, I know what that is. I watched Degrassi," and
Oh my
I was
God.
like, I was like, I don't even know what Degrassi was. So I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." um, so she was like,
Right
"Yeah,
on.
that's totally cool. That's fine." Um, and she was cool with it. Some of her family was a little iffy. Her mom was great about it. Her mom was like, "Well, does he treat you well?" She's like,
Aw.
"Yeah." And so her mom was like, "Well, that's all that matters."
That is
So
really
yeah,
Damn.
I
sweet.
really,
That is really, really
I
sweet.
lucked out. I'm sorry. I wish I had like more trauma to share.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
Trauma.
no, that's no. This is perfectly fine. I'm very
yeah,
happy with your story and your journey because it kind of gives hope.
Yes.
It
yeah,
gives hope. So yeah, no, this is good stuff.
yeah. And I am glad that like so many more people know about what transgender is now, because I think
Right.
that would have saved me. That would have saved me so much. Like to this day, I still have like some like back issues and other issues that could have been prevented earlier on if I actually cared about myself at that point.
Right.
But I felt so disconnected from my body when I was younger that I didn't care. I gained a bunch of weight. I like my mom would be like, "Don't slouch, you're gonna get a hump," and I was like, "I don't care," just slouching um, and didn't take care of like my teeth properly, anything. I was just like, I don't care. And had I known when I was younger that there was hope and that I could transition, I would have taken such better care of myself. And I'm just glad that kids now
Right.
they have the opportunity.
Yeah, I was just going to ask like, what would you tell your younger self today?
Oh, good
Oh
question.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I would tell myself that there is hope, that I can transition. Like this is an option for me, and then it's I don't have to just hate myself and suffer.
I think that's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I want to go back to the, I guess, organization that you founded.
Oh yeah,
What was
the
that
Trans
again?
Mass Group.
Trans Mass
Uh,
Group. Okay.
yeah, we literally just called it the Trans Mass Group. I wish we had something more creative,
No, that's
but
fine. I wanted to
um,
ask, like,
TMI.
huh?
It's
yeah,
TMI.
Oh,
The trans
yeah, there you go.
I wanted to ask
That would
if,
have been great.
yeah,
trans mask interface.
that's funny. I just wanted to
Yeah.
ask, like, if you had goals for the future of the Trans Mask
Group.
So
group.
the person that I co-founded it with does work for something called the Phoenix Center here in Springfield, and that's like an LGBT center, like in safe space
Right.
for people. And so he's much more involved with it now than I am. I was more for like the social support aspect, so I was more like, let's get together and like share resources, and he is more like, let's advocate and do. And you know, we worked together on that for a while,
Right.
but yeah, he works with the Phoenix Center now, and there's lots of resources there for LGBT community, and we do like clothes sharing. So they have like a store in there where people can donate their clothes, and then trans people can come get them for free, like, and then like packers and binders and stuff like that are provided, and people can go get those for free, stuff like that.
If somebody wanted to find that, how would they find it?
The it's the Phoenix page. There's like a Facebook group and a website and things like that that I can provide to you guys. But it's they keep their meetings kind of low key because they
Right.
don't want any like hate
Right, of
crimes
course.
against a meeting spot. But yeah, they have like the website, and I can share all that information with you guys.
Yeah, that would be great. I'd like to put it in the show notes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give shout out and make sure that there's access to that.
Yeah, for sure.
What advice would you, speaking of the advocacy, what advice would you give someone who wants to support another trans individual coming out?
Adopt a trans person.
Oh my God.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think resources. Do your research and find resources. I think I was so lost when I first came out. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know how to find like a trans counselor. I didn't know. I just felt all alone. Like I knew I was this thing, and that was great and validating. But where do I go from here? And
Right.
like I even remember going to my counseling session with my therapist, and she's like, she was like, "Do you have a binder?" And I was like, "Yeah." I had no idea what a binder
I got
meant in that
tape.
context. I thought that she meant like a binder, like a school binder.
I did too.
And so,
I did too.
so I was like, "Yeah, I have a binder like at home." And she's like, "Oh, do you use it?" And I was like, "Sometimes." And I'm like thinking, like, where is this going? Like, I'm here for counseling. So it would have been nice at that. And she was like, "Your responses are really weird because I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying."
You're like, mine
So,
has 3 rings on it.
Mine's
Yeah.
Lisa Frank
Like,
with
I keep my
the
school
ring.
stuff
I named it
Yeah.
Lisa.
My name's
right.
Mine's Lisa
Um,
Frank with the dolphin and the rainbow
So-
cats.
Yeah, right. Lisa Frank, like,
Mhm.
no, I had no idea what she was talking about. So it would have been nice at that point to have, if people had told me like, okay, you're gonna want this, you're gonna want this. Here's a resource for this. I think if anyone that you love is coming out as trans, do your research so that you can try to help them and be a supportive, because they're overwhelmed. They're coming into a whole new world, and they're overwhelmed and emotional, and they're not sure how people are going to react, and they're worried about so many other things that if you take care of like looking up the resources and helping them that way, that's going to be a huge weight off, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's super important. Always do your research, and because I mean that's how you avoid misconceptions.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I accidentally exited.
You exited.
Again.
You lost your questions.
Yeah, I
That's
did.
okay.
Yeah.
I lost
So-
my notes.
Okay, well let's take the same line of questioning then, or whatever. if there was another trans person wanting to come out and they're scared because they don't know if their family will be accepting, they don't know if the community will be accepting, they don't know where to find the resources, what would you tell them?
I would direct them to the Phoenix Center. There's a lot of resources there that they have. I would also suggest, so even though it's a religious organization, there's a place called Catholic Charities. They provide free therapy. I wish I knew of like more options that weren't like religious based for like free counseling, but I would suggest counseling, rely on your friends who are supportive, really use them as someone you can contact when you are in a dark place, you know.
What if they're in that space where it's 12 o'clock? What if they're in that space where you're good?
It's a bird clock.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure it's a clock.
Okay.
It is.
Is 12 o'clock the owl?
It's I I don't know what that's even supposed to be, but I'm not.
I was like, we had one as a kid, but 12 o'clock was the owl. So like middle of the night, you're walking through the house and whoo, whoo, and you're like, ah.
Yeah.
I'm over here trying to make an owl noise and it comes out a pigeon.
My dad.
Yeah. Close enough. Yeah.
Taking it back though, right?
Yeah.
You had a moment where you were dealing with SI, right? And there's especially just in everything that's happening, there's a lot of other trans people that are really struggling with SI right now. So if you found somebody there in that space, what kind of hope could you offer them?
I think like leading by example, kind of, you know, when I met other trans people, it helped a ton to show me that there's hope. Especially like just seeing that if they came from a dark place and where they are now and like how much happier they are and just knowing that that's a possibility. So I think, you know, besides offering like the resources and stuff, I think just letting them know that you do have options. It's going to be okay.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you finally get a ball pulled up, Bear?
Yeah, and there's a bunch missing now. I wanted to go back to talking about your journey. It sounded like ultimately, I think you said it before, you just kind of winged it. Like, did you have a role model or someone else to help you once you figured out what you wanted to do? You know?
Yeah, I found a trans mass group in Nebraska, and I really relied on them to kind of help show me the way. They suggested to me like counselors who are trans friendly. They helped me with resources. They finally explained to me what a binder was.
Nice.
So I really looked up to some of them that were further along in their journey. There was someone who had like gone to Europe and already had like lower surgery and stuff and was talking about that. So I was like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing that you can actually get these things done. Like, and then I started researching like lower surgery because I didn't even know that you could do that, you know, until I looked into it. So, and I'm on my path to get that done soonish next year.
I love that.
I was just going to ask, like, what is next for Josh Renshaw? What is the next step for you?
Or is there a next step?
Yeah.
Or is there a next step? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Lower surgery. Yeah. So I've had my top surgery. I've had my hysterectomy. Lower surgery. I already had like the hair removal. So my arms look super weird because I've got like a hairy arm and then bald arm. So I've been, which when people ask, they're like, "Are you getting a tattoo?" I'm like, "Yeah."
No, I totally get it. Like, I don't know, 2010, 2009, somewhere in there, I had a shaver and I thought I'd just mess around with it. And on the very back of my calf, whatever, I shaved just this little square you know, just kind of, I wanted to see what it would look like, you know, so I did it, and it didn't grow back for years. I had the square on the back of my leg, and my wife at the time would see it, and she would just be like, "God damn you!"
She'd be like, "Why'd you do that?" Yeah.
There's this patch missing.
I mean, yeah, you know, a funny thing about like hair removal, actually, before I transitioned, before I knew I was trans, I went to get hair removal on my face because I had, I paid for laser hair removal on my face because I already had some hair growing in. And I've always wanted to go back there now and be like, it didn't work. I want my money back. Like, just show them me now. But yeah, so that was a mistake.
My online handle would be Patchy the Pirate.
Oh my god.
Patchy the Pirate.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, I just had to get it out.
Love it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, so yeah, hair on one arm, lack of hair on the other. You're getting a tattoo. Did you ever get the tattoo?
No. Well, I have tattoos. I actually got a tattoo to cover my chest scar.
Right. Is it
so
butter?
I plan.
It's not.
No, it's not butter.
I can't believe
Can
it's
you
not
imagine
butter.
Just a big stick of butter.
I can't believe it's not butter.
I can't believe it's not butter.
I'm just picturing like a butter with like this little trail where it's been sliding across.
That's gonna be my next tattoo now.
I love it. You
Thanks
should.
For the idea.
You should.
Yep, I'm gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
Peanut butter.
And jelly.
Do that after lower surgery. Do
And
that.
jelly.
You peanut butter.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Did you have any other questions you wanted to ask, Bear?
No, because half of my notes are missing.
That's okay. Like I don't know. I really like this because it shares that there is hope. Like some people won't have that affirming family, but some people will, you know. And so
Yeah.
maybe it's same process where you test the waters out before you come out. But I mean, there is hope for some people, you know, that they will have that. They'll have the support of adults, and I think more as there's more information coming out about it. I think more people will be supportive, you know, especially over
Right.
time. And so, I think there's a lot of hope for people to be able to come out and talk to their parents and have that supportive person that'll help walk them through that process. There's a lot more support groups out there, so
yeah.
I think there is hope, and I think the story just shares a lot of that and illuminates that.
Yeah, I would agree because, you know, Josh said that, you know, he did, you know, lose people. He did lose friends. And to come back and still, you know, stay true to who you are, I mean, I think that's remarkable. And, you know, he never gave up. You never gave up, buddy.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it's being trans can also be like a pretty cool experience in some ways because when you're raised female and then you transition to male, you kind of see a little bit of both sides.
Right.
And I can
Same
see
going the
clearly
other
like
way.
right, I can see clearly like a lot of the toxic masculinity and how
Right.
people are really not being their authentic selves. You know, like when you come out as trans, I had people who were like, well, you're gonna have to start drinking beer and like working on cars and watching sports, and I'm like no, I'm still gonna watch soap operas and sing to Mariah Carey. Like this is what I enjoy, right?
Yeah,
So you can, like, it's kind of cool because I got to enjoy certain feminine things, you know, and I'm not gonna lose those just because I transition. I'm still me. And then
Right.
transitioning to male, I get to also pick up other things that I like, you know, I enjoy like working on houses and construction stuff. And so it's like I mesh the two together, and it kind of makes for kind of a strange person when you like you explain your hobbies to people. You're like, yeah, I like watching soap operas and doing construction, and they're like, okay, but
I like
it's
swinging a hammer and swinging a hammer.
Oh my god.
yeah.
Yeah, and I can kind of relate. You know, I was into you know, sports, but I can also turn around and make a mean pan of muffins. And you know, I like to
Right?
you know, I like to cook and
Right.
cook and bake, and then turn around and, you know, represent the UPA and being a power lifter. And I can relate to when you say you get the best of both worlds. You kind of get to,
Yeah.
and it stays with
Yeah.
you.
You don't have to live by the constraints of society where they tell you like you have to be this one way because you've gotten to experience both, and
Right.
it's kind of cool.
Right. And then, going the other way as the estrogen starts to kick in and the testosterone's dropping down, you get to see those changes with your body. You get to feel the differences and those kind of changes kick in. And I think it's important to illuminate that can be such an empowering thing to go through that experience. And it is a cool experience because you do get to see both sides of it and you get to experience the changes and feel all of that. What would you say was like the best part of that for you?
For me, it's just being like unapologetically me, just being authentic and just it's kind of funny to like see looks from people too when I'm like singing to Cher and then and they're just like, what's this dude doing? But I really just enjoy getting to do what I love, like whatever it is. It doesn't matter if it's feminine, masculine. I'm gonna do what I love. And when you start doing things like that, the people who are around you, like those are true friends. The people who like,
right.
They're like, yeah, I love you for you because you're so unique and
But there wasn't like a moment where like the facial hair's coming in and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This is it.
Yeah.
Today's the day.
Yeah, when your voice starts cracking mid conversation and you're like, oh.
I mean, was that an affirming thing though?
Yeah. There and like when you're on T, like your body fat starts gathering in different spots, which that can be a little weird. You start getting like a beer belly instead of like it going to like your hips and thighs, and like the voice dropping, the just all of it. Like it's very cool. I mean, I don't like the fact that I am balding.
That's why my head's wrapped.
Yeah. And my hairdresser, like, I told her that was a concern of mine ahead of time. I was like, yeah, some trans guys, they lose their hair. And she's like, oh, your hair is so thick, you're not going to have a problem with that. And I was like, okay, cool.
A lot of guys lose their hair.
It started teeing, it started falling out, and I was like, she lied to me.
Yeah. I
told...
Go ahead.
Sorry, I told Casey, my wife, like, when I first met her, I had just started T pretty much. And I had hair. And so I tell her all the time, I'm like, I had hair when I met you, and then it all fell out. Like, she just stressed me out, and it fell out. I just blame her for the random things,
Yeah, I just like to say all of my hair just migrated to my face, and it's time to go. We're gonna go live down here now.
I love that.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, I think that's all I got.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Good. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's so important to I think you've just highlighted a lot of important things, that there is hope, that there is affirming parts that come to it. There is organizations out there that will support you no matter where you are in the country, and that you're not alone.
Right.
Nope. Not alone at all, no.
Right.
All right. Well, Josh, thank you so much for coming on the podcast, especially short notice.
Yes.
That was just so helpful.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was fun, like getting to talk about it with people who understand,
Right.
like who've been through it. So, yeah.
I mean, I went the backwards way, but yeah. I feel like that's weird.
Yeah,
backwards.
Don't say it that way.
Back it up. Back it up.
Back it up.
Smooth like butter.
Oh my god.
He brought it back.
There you go.
I love it. Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I don't know what else to say other than, thanks for everybody that's listening to this. Oh, and also, I think it's important to also throw out there, we have a new member of the team, Peyton.
Yes.
And, they're helping us out with some of the blog posts and some of the Facebook stuff, any of that kind of stuff. We're also working on getting some kind of transcription of the podcast episodes.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're working on that. Peyton's being such a huge help with that, and so we're grateful to have them with us. And outside of that, if there's other people that want to come talk with us, would they either know somebody that has a good story that should be shared, or if they want to come share their own story, they can reach out to me at Daphne@transplantingpodcast.com, and they can reach us that way.
You can find us on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and Spotify.
Yeah, we're on all the socials. I am not so great. I'm not so great at keeping up on some of them. That's something else we could use, though.
Yeah.
If there's somebody who wants to come on and help me make shorts and reels and that kind of stuff, it would be so helpful. So again, just reach out to there at Daphne at Transplanting Podcast, and we'll see what we can work out. Otherwise, I think that's all we got.
Yeah, and thanks for tuning in and joining us, and we'll see you next episode. And as always, welcome to the family.